Hey, how's it going everybody? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Tales from the Age of Men. The Lord of the Rings modification from Anthem Blade to Bannerlord, and they have just released their first little playtest to show what they've been working on over the past couple months, and you can download this for free right now. It is just over on Nexus Mods. I'll leave a link to it down below in the description and of course in the pinned comment. As I mentioned, this is just a showcase of what they've currently got done, so don't expect to go into this and be able to play a full campaign, but you can still go in, see the areas of Gondor and Rohan. You can see all the units, you can fight lords, fight battles, but of course this is still heavily a work in progress. They're adding stuff to the Patreon build of the mod every couple days, and I honestly just have to give them props for being so transparent with basically everything in this mod. As a community member, I think it's really awesome to be able to see them making progress in certain areas. So what I thought I'd do in today's video is just dive through everything available right now that you can actually play, so you know if this is worth your time to go in and download it for yourself. So first things first, we have brand new cultures being implemented in the game. You guys can see a bit of everything. Only a couple of them actually have certain stats, but you'll see kind of what the modders are going for here. So for example, the Gondorians will be able to get more militia in their towns, which is kind of nice. Being in an army provides more influence, and of course wages of Gondorian and also of garrisons are much lower. So this is going to kind of really fall to these armies being stacked with more expensive soldiers and their garrisons being very defensive, which I like. Compare that to something like Mordor, and as you guys can see, it's all about just building big armies. So 30% bigger party size, 20% lower wages, and 20% lower recruitment. They're just about getting as many soldiers in armies as physically possible, whereas Gondor is all about kind of that much more defensive, higher tier infantry. I believe as of right now, that is the only two cultural character traits at the moment, but still I think it's really cool nonetheless. We also have the big boy right here, so this is going to be the custom made Uruk skeleton. I know these are very difficult to actually implement into the game. Tale worlds do not make it easy, so again this is really cool to see, and if you guys want to compare it, you can see this is what the human looks like. They have also got the orc and the dwarven skeleton currently being implemented into the game. They're not currently in this build, however they are in the development version of it, and again apparently it took them so much time to do that, but it's really awesome because having dwarfs, having orcs, having these different body types rather than everybody just being human, I think is going to add so much flavor, so much awesome stuff, and also make it so that custom armor only I think fits their certain cultures and body types as well, which you won't be seeing like a human man running around in goblin armor. So with the addition of Rohan being implemented into this build in all of its glory, you guys can see some of the awesome new little models for the cities. Alongside that, the whole of Rohan has now been built out. If we zoom out, you guys can see it in all of its glory with Rohan now being implemented. So now we have all of Gondor and of course all of Rohan. I still think Rohan is still a bit of a work in progress that's being implemented as of right now in the dev build. They're currently working in on adding in Isengard and kind of adding in obviously the actual terrain in the Misty Mountains. I mean, at the moment the Misty Mountains are just a little bit flat, I ain't gonna lie, but I think this terrain is now being kind of worked on as we speak. But there's definitely some really cool additions right here over here into the Westfold, etc. Very cool. Again, the person who created these custom horse lord stuff is awesome. Like even the horse's head on all of the actual armaments is really nice. Obviously we've got Helm's Deep as well in there, looking amazing. We got Edoras, of course. Where is Edoras? Edoras right here atop its hill. Again, the sprites just look absolutely amazing, and of course as well there's actually some castles in here, so a lot of this northern part of the lands of Rohan are just covered in castles. The map, you know, of course is very open terrain, so the battlefields I imagine are not going to be foresty. It's going to be a lot of plains, etc., which they're going to be able to utilize, but for the most part I think, you know, Rohan being here is really cool, and of course it just kind of adds more, you know, more traversal, more kind of the ability to go. I'm not sure if I've shown this, but they have also implemented some more additions to Gondor. So Gondor over to the west has now been implemented, but which wasn't the case previously, and you can see that there's just plenty more settlements out here to kind of mess around with, and plenty more lords. Speaking of lords, they have also done a lot of work now that this is playable and you're going to be getting into fights, etc. They have also done a lot of work of adding in all the custom armors for all the lords. So again, I think pretty much all of Gondor, Rohan and Mordor, the I think all of them now have custom Lord armors in, so you're not going to be fighting some, scurvy Valandian warrior. You're going to be fighting goddamn Uruk-hai on the campaign map. So of course the Uruk-hai look very cool. All of the leaders, people, moving armies look great, but we also have the custom Gondorian armor pieces as well, and I think these look really, really nice. I think also depending on what region you come from. So for example, the warriors from over here, or somewhere like, the warriors from over here should all look custom. They're like, depending on what Firth they're from, I think they all have custom setups. Again, you can see the Rohan armor as well, looking very nice there on the Lords, and it just adds so much flavor rather than fighting someone in normal Caranian armor. There's one Lord I'm trying to look for who has different colored armors, but I don't know where he is. I mean, Imrahil has his own custom armor as well, so Imrahil is completely custom made with his armor, and that's going to be the same for Denethor. You can see Denethor's armor. I believe Boromir's is the same, but I think Faramir might. Yeah, Faramir has a custom armor. God, he looks so... No wonder Denethor hated him so much. Look at him, I could bunch that face. As we mentioned, of course, Rohan all custom armors. There's Aemir, and I think Theoden as well has his own specific... Okay, Theoden hasn't had his armor changed yet, but everybody else in Rohan has. I think this is actually Theoden's armor, so we might see that transferred over at some point. Yeah, it's the same with the Mouth of Sauron as well. I don't think this is quite the Mouth of Sauron, but one of the people I did want to show off in this is going to be the Witch King of Angmar. His armor is completely in and looking very nice, and it's the same for all the rest of the Nazgul as well, even though the face is a little bit buggy right there, as you guys can see. And again, still very much work in progress, but yeah, the face is a bit buggy. But again, the rest of the Nazgul armor is actually in, and they're working on custom ones for a few more of the named ones. I think Kamal is having a custom one, of course, the Witch King, and then a few others. There is also plenty of other Lord units you can mess around with as well. So the Uruk-hai armor have had a couple updates since last time, nothing too crazy. You've also got the Forces of Rune and of course Haradrim. Until these guys get their own faction, they're all just thrown into the Mordor roster, and the Lords should recruit these and start with these armies as well. So if you're just looking to go and have some fun, run around as someone, you can do so very, very easily. And then again, the rosters are good. Again, the Uruk-hai needs some lower tier units, and I think the Orc model, the Orc skeleton, is getting implemented relatively soon-ish, so we should start seeing some Orcs in here rather than just the Uruks. And it's going to be the same for the runic forces as well, and of course for Haradrim. I've seen on the Discord, but these guys have several new armors, weapons, etc. all coming, so we should start to see a more fleshed out runic and Haradrim armor and weapon unit roster. Gondor now have the Fountain Guard armor as well. I don't think this was in last time. It looks absolutely incredible, and we'll take a look at it on the battlefield in a moment, because there's another unit I want to show off as long as that armor is in. Just for generic Gondorian armor, looks great. Several different weapons, and I think all the Gondorian swords have now been implemented. Yeah, all the Gondorian swords have now been implemented in this build as well, along with the spears and other custom weapons, which is great. We also get a first little glimpse at some of the Fiefs of Gondor units. So again, every part of Gondor will be having, I think, their own custom unit, and hopefully these provide something very different to the Gondorian lineup. It's not just all sword and shield guys. Hopefully we get some really unique units. I think it'd be really cool if just each Firth had one unit line, like a noble troop line, and they just provided something different to the generic unit roster. Yeah, this unit right here is the unit I want to be showing off because it looks absolutely insane. This is the Knight of the Silver Swan, and the armor piece is just beautiful on the campaign map and on the battle map. They look great. This is going to be the noble unit for the Gondorians, and it just looks incredible. Stats are very good, and of course you also get the Wardens of Aphelion, so it's a nice little Aphelion armor line. Again, they have several variants as well, which are really nice as well. This just adds so much love and detail. Big two-handed infantry. Yeah, they look great. And again, you have the normal Gondorian pages as well, which are going to be very good cavalry. Oh yeah, one thing to mention as well, look at the Witch King's stats as well. He is 600 in everything. He is going to be an absolute menace on the battlefield compared to a normal Uruk-hai leader, who again still looks incredible. But yeah, you can see 200 compared to the Witch King, which I think is how it should be. Before we as well dive into a battle, just to check out some of these units up close and personal, you guys can also see the beginning of Minas Morgul as well. Just the model being brought in. I believe this is actually made from Dragonstone and the resources they have in the Dance of Dragons mod that they were kind enough to go and give over. I think so though, but it does look kind of different now. I don't know. Either way, it looks very, very cool indeed, and I'm very excited. And maybe it was Orthanc that was made that way. Yeah, that looks quite different. I think Orthanc has been made and is currently being worked on, and maybe yeah, maybe it's Orthanc that was taken from Dragonstone. Okay, so here we are. Let's take a look at some of these units. So it doesn't look like the Knights of the Silver Swan have their horses yet. I wonder if that is because they're waiting for the horse armors to be done to fully implement them. But I mean, just take a look at this armor. If we stick them in a shield wall as well, oh my god, this armor just looks incredible. They've done such an insane job. That helmet, even the Gondorian spears look really good. And again, I love the shields as well. And I think they obviously also have custom swords. Yeah, custom Gondorian swords being implemented. I mean, just everything about this armor is beautiful. Over on this side, we have some of the Filian soldiers as well, so you guys can see the other noble unit. Again, I think it's a custom two-handed sword right there. And then we have Citadel Guard supported by, I think, some other Gondorian in the Fountain Guard back here as well. So you have the Fountain Guard. If I just spread these guys out a little bit and we click pause, let them get out a bit more so you guys can see the difference. So yeah, we have Citadel Guard right here, and I believe these guys are equipped with a spear as well. It's not there. And again, you guys can see the custom sword as well, very much like what the sword Boromir was wielding. And the Citadel Guard look amazing. And then behind that, we also have the Fountain Guard right here, again equipped with spears. Oh, they actually have a spear on their back as well. So yeah, I'm not sure exactly how they'll use that, but yeah, the detail in this armor is just absolutely amazing. The helmets, I think the helmets have done such a great job, and just everything overall. Bit of a shorter sword actually, which is cool to see. And then of course we have the Aphelions. So if we just get these guys to fire a will, let's just see a volley, please. Go on, give them a volley. Yeah, that's pretty nice. Okay, next we have another battle, this time showing off some of the forces of evil. So again, you can see the Uruk-hai right here. I don't believe Mordor have their custom weapons in yet, so that's why you'll see a lot of people wielding kind of just generic executioner's axes and halberds and stuff. But again, they obviously are still being developed. We obviously have the runic soldiers here as well. The detail on this armor is incredible. I love it from head to toe. I think it looks amazing. I especially love the little detail on the neck scarf as well. It just looks so good, and all the custom kind of helmet kind of types is great. And even just like that chainmail on the leather, yeah, it looks really nice. Does a lot. I also brought myself as well some of the Men of Rohan. I think this is a new armor piece, so you guys haven't seen this quite yet, but still, again, looks incredible. I mean, just look at the detail on that. Yeah, so goddamn good. Really, really nice. And I think it's going to look even better when they get the custom Rohan horse armors in as well, just completing this look right there, because overall it looks amazing. I don't think, oh, maybe these are custom swords. Yeah, I think some of these guys have custom swords. I don't know if that axe is custom. Either way, still really, really cool stuff, all the different armors. And I think, yeah, when we get the orc armors in, and it kind of spices up the Uruk-hai, but yeah, even just look at the size of the Uruks as well. Is pretty incredible. But the Uruks are going to be much more of an elite force rather than the normal orcs, which will make up, I imagine, the majority of the army. So these Uruks will be, yeah, these are the super higher tiers and are really, really good. So I doubt you'll see too many full armies of these bad boys. But you can also see them compare as well to the humans. And just in general, I think the default humans are a bit smaller, I can guess. They've definitely also made the horses much larger as well compared to the size of humans, which I think is great. Adds in just a bunch more, like, kind of better feel to it, more intimidating. Okay, and then the last thing I wanted to show off is still just a billion times a work in progress, but this is the very start of, well, you guys can probably guess it, the very start of Minas Tirith. Apparently making circular walls was really, really difficult to do. I definitely don't disagree whatsoever. But yeah, they've managed to get these circular walls in, so again, you'll probably start to see over the next couple versions Minas Tirith being, you know, risen from the ground, which I'm very excited for. There's also a bunch of, like, destruction as well, so again, if they want to make a Zilliath, they can definitely do that with all of these ruins and stuff, which I'm very, very excited for. You can see all kind of the pieces here being set up. But yeah, I mean, it's a big deal. It sounds stupid, but it's a big deal. They've got a circular wall in this, and hopefully we'll just get to see, you know, the proper gates of Gondor, etc. I think that'd be really, really cool. Yeah, and then this is going to be one of the other custom castles that are currently being worked on. Again, I think the model itself has actually been improved a lot since this has been implemented in, but you guys can start to look at a little bit of what the Gondorian settlements will actually look like. This will be one of the castles. You can still see very much a work in progress, but yeah, again, I don't think you need anything crazy, you know. Fill this courtyard with, like, defenses and you know, maybe buildings and stuff, and you basically, this is all you need for a lot of the more generic Gondorian settlements. Just real quick finally as well, I believe they do also have a Helm's Deep map as well from the Full Invasion guys, but I'm not sure if they're tweaking it or if it just hasn't made its way in quite yet. But Helm's Deep is of course going to have a custom map, which again is super cool. That is going to do it for today's video. So as I mentioned, you can play this version of the mod right now if you want to. You can check it out, you can run around, build armies, go and fight Mordor, etc., which is really fun. You can also download something like the enhanced battle mod as well, which should give you access just to fighting more custom battles, as I don't believe the custom battle section of the mod has been sorted yet. Hopefully they do get on that, if of course they find the time to do it, because there is, I imagine, so much to actually do and implement into this mod. But of course I want to give the dev team just such a huge shout out, not only for pouring so much time and effort into this, also the main mod leader Hatred for putting all that money into it. He's put in, I think, something along the lines of £50,000 into this mod so far with commissions and stuff, and it's just really incredible. He is truly doing a service to the community building something like this, and not only that, he's also spending so much of his own time just implementing stuff that he's got commissioned and working hard on creating this mod. And that's obviously to go for everybody else working on this, everybody who's been commissioning, everybody who's been creating the map, adding in the XMLs, creating the flags and the pictures and stuff. Just everything is really cool, and it's just amazing how transparent they are being. It's cool to kind of be able to follow this mod and see everything that's being worked on. I imagine there's some times where they wish they probably didn't do that, because I imagine not everybody is as chill as, say, you and me, but it is still great nonetheless. So go check out this mod right now. I'll leave a link to it down below in the description. You guys can have some good fun with it. I'll also leave a link to their Discord as well. I highly recommend you guys go over there and just go show them some love, as obviously everybody wants to see this project succeed, so that's definitely one of the ways that you can help support, but just going and telling them they're doing a great job. And if you guys maybe want to see some cool custom battles of all the new units, be sure to let me know down below in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one.